You know, you never know to look at me, but I am transgender. And I just recently came out to my girlfriend and then my family individually. And it was sad to see that a lot of my family didn't actually believe that I was transgender, or they actually doubted me. They thought it was going to be a phase. In fact, one of my brothers actually said to me straight up, he's like, you know, you've always been very extreme, Luke. We used to call you hothead all the time because you get angry just like this, just fast. And he's all, so this just seems like another very, I guess, wild notion, or just something extreme that you're going to do and then regret later on. And they just had a hard time believing that I was transgender. Well, I've always known, not that I was transgender, but that I've always known that I've gravitated towards girl things. For instance, when I was young, I could never get dressed for church without my mom having to fight me tooth and nail, for lack of a better term. She would want me to wear these clothes that when she'd pull out of the closet, oh my God, they were just gross. You know, I'd see these guys' clothes with the collar shirt and the buttons right here, and she would try and put it on me, and I'm fighting her and kicking and screaming. And the final thing that would actually get me to put those gross clothes on was her pointing up to this cute yellow dress up in the top of the closet, and she would say, if you don't put these on, I'm going to make you go to church, Luke. I'm going to make you go to church with that dress on. And I remember thinking every time she'd do that, like, yay, my heart would leap in my chest, and I would think to myself, oh, I want to wear it. But I knew, because gender roles are figured out by the age of 2, that's very average, I knew that I couldn't actually go to church wearing that because people would actually laugh at me and make fun of me. I knew it wasn't sociably acceptable at that age. So I reluctantly, for fear of the fallout of going in a dress, put on those guy clothes. And I remember walking around the house, not kidding you, and I would actually pull the shirt off of my skin like this, walk around like this, because I just didn't want it touching me. It was so gross. And I ended up suffering a lot of and well, not me, a lot of fallout, but there was a lot of bad that came from me going to church like that. I was cranky. I just didn't enjoy, you know, wearing those clothes and representing like that. And I didn't understand it fully. I was too young. I couldn't coin the term transgender to what I was feeling. I had no idea what it was. I just knew that I would rather be wearing, you know, the dress. I knew I'd rather be doing that. So how is it that I know that I'm transgender, and my family, why they doubt it? It's obviously I feel like a girl on the inside. I think that's the strongest thing I can say is I feel like a girl on the inside. You know, but some of the evidences of it, because you know a lot of my family, they just needed to hear the evidences, is that I really gravitate towards girl things. I feel more comfortable with girl shoes on. I would put on my sister's shoes just to feel more comfortable. You know, I feel much more comfortable with a dress on. Literally, guy clothes or a dress. I am more comfortable in that dress or in those nice girl pants and that blouse. I'm so much more comfortable in that than I am ever in guy clothes. Also, representing myself as a guy. Every time I'd go to a family event, I would always leave depressed, and for years I just couldn't figure out why was I leaving so depressed from these family events. I just spent time with my family, and I figured it out finally. I was representing myself falsely. I was literally lying to my family about who I was. Every time I went there, I was presenting as a hyper man, not hyper as far as activity wise, but I was overdoing the manliness so I could convince them and me that I was a man. And that kind of lying wears you down. And I have to say, every time I walked away, I was so thoroughly depressed for like a week and a half, and it took me a long time to recover. How do I know I'm a girl? Well, I know I'm a girl because of how I feel inside. I just know I'm a girl. I just really feel it. Also, you know, I gravitate towards girly music. I want to talk about my feelings. I want to talk, 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 talk. I don't know if you can tell that this right now, but I can talk forever. I talk people's ears off and don't even realize I'm doing it. It's really sad, actually. You know, wears on people, I think. And, you know, honestly, I feel more comfortable around the girls. I get jealous at my sisters when they'd have slumber parties. I always wanted to be there in the slumber party with them. And I'd hang around my sister and her girlfriends, and she just could never figure out why. And it's funny, my sister once actually stopped me on the stairway. This is only one time this happened. That I'm going to tell you about, but stopped me on the stairway. Please dress up with me, Luke. And I'm like, no. Inside I was jumping with joy. I was like, please ask me again, please ask me again. And she's like, please dress up with me. And I'm like, no, I told you no. And I'm like, please ask me again. Thinking in my head, please ask me again. Please. I'm like, fine. Like I reluctantly gave in. I'm like, fine, I'll dress with you. She's like, yay. And I got to tell you, as soon as I put that dress on, I was so happy. How do I know I'm a girl? How do I know I'm transgender? Because they just know.